my understanding of money would have been a lot better.
Right.
Because I know, like, back then, like, I would always go to the corner store and buy snacks all the time. But, like, just the idea.
10 years ago?
Wait,
Ain't you like 50 now?
50. No, so 10 years ago. Okay, look, I am thinking way past it.
We give you this podcast if we feel it or not. Give you high energy, have you feeling a drop. Ease raw, no nonsense, fire content with time spent, sound slick. Been around the block like Crown Vic. Come on, Dre, laugh so hard that you hit the tap. Like and subscribe, support us, stop sitting back, come and listen as we talk about this and that. TSD, come sit and chat. You get with that? East.
Hey, welcome to Sit and Chat 612, where we come up with weekly topics. Plus, we've been around the block a few times. My name is Sherrod.
My name is Tony.
DeAndre.
And before we get into this, if you guys new to our channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Also, that notification bell will let you know when we drop new content every week, every Tuesdays and every Fridays. And also, if you like what you see, hit that thumbs up.
Okay, so today's topic is, with what you know now, what would you, hold on, let me start this over. With what you know now, from 10 years ago, would you change anything, do anything different? If so, what?
I guess I can start.
Ooh, that's the first.
Well, what I know now, what would I change? I think for me, I would have started my career, my barber career earlier, because I graduated 2019 from Southwest High School. Dude, I'm not 19. My bad. Yeah, I'm in the zone because I practiced this last night.
But you knew you didn't graduate in 19?
Yeah, 2013. My bad. 2013 for Southwest, and I was supposed to go to MCTC for barber school, but then once I found out it was like a 2-year program, I just didn't want to come out of 4 years of high school to get into another 2-year program. So I kind of did the thing that most of the people do. They get out of high school and then they'll take some time off. Mm-hmm. I wind up taking from 2000.
I don't know. You be trying to keep up with years. You just
from 2003 to 2013. There we go. So that's when I went to barber school.
Wait, didn't he just say
2003? 2000.
When did he say he graduated?
2013.
Did I say 2013? Okay, scratch that. 2000. Well, okay, so 2003. Okay. 2003 is when I graduated. 2003. I went to barber school in 2013.
Okay.
There we go. So I wanted to take some time off from.
I don't even know why that didn't click to me. Like, your child was born in 2011.
Right. Because maybe I overthought it too much.
I don't know. Just stop.
But yeah. So started my barber career earlier because I feel like if I would have did that, I probably would have been further along now than I am. I mean, further along now. So
as in what?
As in, like, I probably already. I mean, I feel like I would have had my shop, and probably a couple of shops. But I feel like everything happened in time. I feel like, everything happened the way it happened. I don't got nothing to get. But
so if you think you would have did it then, do you feel like you would have had maybe the same people that guided you to get to where you're at now?
It's crazy. I don't think so. I don't think so. But I know myself. I know how I am. So going into any shop, the shop that I was at was like perfect for me. You know what I mean? But like, I know myself, so even if it wasn't perfect, I know how I am. If it wasn't right for me, I would have went to another shop. You know what I'm saying? But
I don't know. Convention Grill wasn't right. You were there for a long time.
But I've been there since 2002.
There you go with these dates again. These years.
I was 2002. I was a sophomore in high school. So, it made me. Any situation make you who you is. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like being in customer service made me a better social person because I was quiet for a long time. So
were you so you were cutting hair when you were in high school?
Yep. I was cutting hair. I started cutting hair when I was 14.
Right.
I know we done said this before.
Yeah.
But them haircuts was taking like 5 hours for somebody who had been practicing in high school.
You was gonna
yeah, I don't know.
You was gonna leave a movie star.
I don't know.
So
People were going to sleep as he was cutting their hair.
Yeah, that's true. They still do though.
It ain't taking you 5 hours to do it though.
Yeah, you right.
So, when I asked if you were already cutting hair, were you like, did you have like the tools and stuff then, or like, was it just something, a hobby of yours, or did you always know you wanted to cut hair?
I knew I wanted to cut hair because I already knew that I ain't gonna say I wasn't a book person.
Right.
I was more of a how you say
Hands on.
Yeah, hands on. So I knew that's what I was gonna be, but I was already cutting hair. When I started cutting my hair, then I started cutting other people's hair, like around high school.
Right.
High school, you know. It was off and on, but it was something that I started to develop a passion for, and I was like, I can see myself doing this as a career. So it was either that, plumbing, carpentry, anything hands on.
Right.
So, but yeah, I feel like if I would have started earlier, I probably would have been further along than I am now. Which, like I say, I'm glad I went ahead and opened my shop. But I probably wouldn't have been around the same people. You know what I mean? I probably would have been around different people. But as long as I know myself, I was gonna make it regardless, because that's just the person I am. So regardless of who I'm around, but I was around the right people at the right time, and I feel like where I'm at now, being around.
I think because they were older too.
Yeah.
Because if you would have got them 10 years prior, they probably was in their prime, still priming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So.
And that's the crazy part about like, like if you would have known what you know now, and like your trajectory would have been different. Like you start to think about, would you have this? Or would you have met certain people? Because because like if you were working, like you are now, who's to say we would have met? You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. Yep.
But there's like where were you dancing in high school or no?
Yep, I was dancing in high school. Yeah. But it's funny you said it, because I was talking to Sherrick about this the other day. I was like, even if I was to change what I know now in my past, like I probably wouldn't even met her. You know what I mean? And like I was telling her, I probably wouldn't even been going out as much as I went out.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's I'm not about to go into that. That's another story. But and I also think too, what I know now, I would have stayed on top of my tax stuff. I would have stayed on top. I would have stayed on top of that. Just because.
Let me insert right there.
Go ahead.
So those who are entrepreneurs and on your own, there is really no guide to what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
We've learned that the hard way. If you have the knowledge to help someone who's an entrepreneur, especially about tax stuff or where they should go or what it is that they need, give them the information.
Yeah, I agree.
That's all I'm gonna say about that, because I really don't know, but because I ain't no entrepreneur, but I do know.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know everything, and then they don't. I'm assuming they don't teach you that in school either. They probably touch it, but they don't tell you what you really need.
That's one thing, which is kind of I know my teacher, Miss Peggy, she did touch on that, but she touched on that like, because when I was in barber school, they had the apprentice and then they had the masters.
Right.
She touched on that in the masters, but she didn't, like you said, she didn't touch on it as much. And I just feel like I got out, and I didn't. It's good now. I taken care of it now, but I just wish I would have knew that, so my stuff wouldn't been so much of a mess, before. You know what I mean? But I took care of it now, but it was a mess. So I'm gonna just say that. But so I definitely would have stayed on top of just keeping receipts and keeping a file of everything that I bought, because like when I did my taxes, like I ain't have a lot of that stuff. I didn't have, you know what I mean? So it was just, I wish I stayed on top of that, you know what I mean? But that wasn't, especially when you get fresh out of barber school, you just thinking about making money. You ain't thinking about no taxes and stuff like that. So, but so that's how I feel.
So that's your 10-year thing?
That's my 10-year thing.
You want to go?
Yeah. With what I know now, I think that I would have, my understanding of money would have been a lot better, because I know like back then, like I would always go to the corner store and buy snacks all the time, but like just the idea.
10 years ago?
Wait,
ain't you like 50 now?
50. No, so 10 years ago. Okay, I am thinking way past 10. But even, yeah, so 10 years ago, still with the idea of saving money, but also me understanding credit too. Like, because I didn't know, you really don't learn about that. No, because like my mother didn't know about that 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like she knew like a little bit, but yeah. So just the understanding of money and credit and how you can use it to get what you want. Because I didn't have like nearly the stuff that I have now.
Right.
Because I actually think I was still staying with my mom at the time. You know, but it's like if I had understood that, then I would be like, you know, don't be spending your money on a newest phone and
Right.
you know. And yeah, because I honestly feel like, you know, like I said, they don't teach you about that stuff, but it's like you learn to realize that it's very important.
Yeah.
As far as this life goes. You know,
Yeah.
Because everything here is built on credit. If you don't have any credit, it's just like you don't have anything.
Yeah.
But it's weird because it's like you need credit, but then it's like
You need your money to pay the credit.
yeah, but you can't get things without credit. But then it's like you don't have the credit to get it, but you need it in order to get it.
Right.
And I'm like, so how am I supposed to get anything really?
Right. Right.
You know, and this may be kind of off topic, but like I did learn, you know, that you can put your kids on your credit cards like early, and you can help them build credit to where when they are 18, then they don't have to go through the same
Yeah,
stuff.
but they still need the understanding of how credit works.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you can't just be like, here's a card or here's my card
Right.
that your name's on, then you go swiping.
Right.
Then you're messing up my stuff and your stuff.
Right.
It still have to be that understanding of this is what you can use.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can only use this, and you need to make your payments, and it's
Right.
a whole bunch. And I don't even know if kids in class would get it or listen to it, but it need to be a subject.
Yeah.
Which is cool, because didn't you get Mello on?
No, he had his own.
Okay. But, I mean, you know, Mello's smart, so he already understood.
I don't know what he was doing, but his limit kept going up, so he was doing something right.
Right.
On a card that's only supposed to be like a certain amount.
Right.
I think he got more on that card than we both got on ours.
Yeah.
His is in the thousands, and ours is in the hundreds. And it's on like one of them cards that you start out with.
So like a secure card, or is it like
It was a secure card.
So
how did he- so how did his go up?
thousands? You know, like we mean thousands.
I don't know his credit limit. I just
No.
know that there's thousands that he have thousands on that credit card.
What
Right.
you mean? I got some thousands?
No, I'm talking about on that particular card.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It ain't even 1,000.
Yeah, my first card, yeah.
It's not 1,000.
500.
Yeah.
Mine either, but his is a few thousand.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So like
And I only know that because he told me that it went up again like a couple of months ago or something like that. So I don't know. So apparently his card isn't secured anymore if they keep
Right.
bumping it up.
yeah, no. But once you start getting the 10, 20, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he said he's not even applying for another card. That's it.
That's good. All you need is one card.
Yeah, no, like, because you can get, you know, kind of messed up. You know, like if you start getting cards, but you know, like for me, you know, like he'll probably be shocked to find out, like I got 9 cards, but I use them responsibly.
Right.
You know, like I'm not behind on anything, but I use them for, you know.
I don't think he will. We're talking about him. I don't think he will. If he ain't got the money, he probably won't do it.
Right.
In case he in a bind. Other than that, I don't think he will.
And one other thing for me would probably be when it comes to relationships.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't like necessarily with the mindset that I have now when it comes to like, well, nobody is when they're younger, you know, like when it comes to building family, but like even just the idea of what a relationship should be, because I was, you know, with somebody that I didn't want to be with, but I'm like,
Right.
you know, I just felt like you had to be with somebody,
Right,
you know,
right.
so
Or you just wanted to be with somebody.
yeah, no, like no, and I've learned, and that ties into kind of learning to be alone too, because a lot of people don't want to be alone. So then they start getting pets and stuff like that, and I'm like, why? Like to feel
Because they
something.
don't want to deal with other people. Pets don't talk back. I mean, they do, but you don't know what they saying.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
I honestly,
Yeah, because
like,
Bello be, I don't know what he be saying, but I be finna slap him across the room because when I tell him something, he be like, yeah. I'm like, what is you saying, man? Speak up. Speak in English.
speak up.
He be speaking up. You just
Yeah.
don't know what he be
He
saying.
be talking back, though.
It's
But
crazy.
yeah.
They just want some companionship, not necessarily to talk to somebody. It's just somebody there that they're taking care of.
Now, I can understand that, like, as far as like you have like one or two, but there be people who just be like getting multiple pets, and I'm like, I feel like at some point you feel in a void of something.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just feel sorry for pets.
I guess.
I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah, that's-
We've had pets. I mean, I've always had a pet. Yeah, I've always had a pet.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you already know I had pets. I had a cat home. I had like nine cats?
See?
I had a lot of cats. I had a few dogs too. Like maybe I ain't gonna say me, but we, my sisters and my mom,
Right.
we had a few pets. We had a hamster. We had it was a rat. I thought it was a rat. That was a big old. But we had a hamster. We had I think at some point we might have had a snake somewhere. We had a parrot.
What?
We had a parrot. No, we
You
had
making
no
up that snake
Nah,
piss.
I threw that out
Because
there to
I've
make it sound
never
better.
heard that before.
But we had a hamster.
He had to
a bird,
change it when I said
a
what?
hamster, a parrot, dogs, and cats.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I remember.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn. Something that I would have changed, what I know now, what I would have changed 10 years ago. So if I go back 10 years, then that kind of puts me at having another child. And that's okay. It wasn't at the time, but it's okay now because I
Right.
was already further along with 2 other kids. So, I don't know. I think if I had been with somebody else, I probably wouldn't have. But I probably have to go like another 10 years before that and say, if I just would pursue what I wanted to do versus just doing to have a job, I most definitely probably would have been further along than what I'm doing now.
right.
What was something that? What was something that? Something.
Actually, I always wanted to be a medical assistant. But now that I think about it, I can't do a lot of stuff that they probably do. Like give people shots and draw blood and stuff like that. I don't think that's what it is. I think I always should have been in something that was caring and nurturing for someone.
Right.
And people be like, "What? Sherry said that?" Yes, but I'm a giver. It just depends on who I'm giving to. Like I tell people, like I work with kids, and I tell people all the time, like I don't like kids like that, and I don't. But I've never have. But I will never mistreat a kid.
Right.
I will never do them wrong. I won't even let you do them wrong. I just don't want to be around them all day long.
Right.
And then there's the question, well, you have 3. I know, but they're mine.
Right.
And I can do certain stuff to mine that I can't do to yours. That's why you always get to go back home. You know what I mean? So I just feel like if I would have pursued that stuff, what you laughing at?
No, because you said you're a giver. I said you're a giver. You need to give a little bit more. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
As in what?
No,
As in what? Since you think it's funny.
No, that's grown folk stuff. Going back. Going back to what you talking about.
You irritate. And I'm done.
So like, you were talking about, just the first 10 years, like, so did you not want any more kids, or were you just like, if it happens, it
You
happens?
mean the second part of the
Yeah.
10 years? I didn't. I really didn't. And then I got pregnant. And it was just so happened that Tony didn't have any kids.
Right.
Now, if I think about the way that it played out back then, I don't think he wanted any kids. So,
Did y'all talk about that?
absolutely not.
Yeah.
So
I just got pregnant.
Right.
I didn't just get pregnant, but I got pregnant.
Right.
So,
So did you want kids, or like at that certain point in your
No,
life?
not at that point.
Okay.
Not at that point, but yeah.
and you could tell. Remember when I said we was in this rough, patchy stage? That was one of them.
But it could be because y'all didn't really have a conversation about it.
It also was because we really didn't know each other either.
Right.
Yeah, we had to learn each other.
So yeah, so
But y'all knew each other.
Right.
Y'all knew each other to do, you know.
Yeah.
you know, stuff happens. It's not a regret because you know she here now. She been here for a minute,
Right.
but it was just one of those things that it was not thought through. It just happened.
Yeah, it did.
And then it goes back to if it hadn't happened, we probably wouldn't be together.
Yeah.
Really?
It's crazy
Yeah.
how it didn't work out.
Yeah, because I also feel like having her completed the family, but it was also us getting married completed it as a whole. And I don't
Right.
think we would have got married had I not gotten pregnant. Not saying that we didn't care about each other and all that other stuff,
Right.
but I feel like if I hadn't gotten pregnant, we wouldn't have got married. And who's to say if we would have been together?
Yeah, because, you know, like, it's crazy to hear that because you hear people talk about, you hear people say, like, oh, just because you have a kid, it doesn't mean that you're going to be with that person. But for some people, you know, like, it works where it's like you have a kid and that's what keeps you, you know.
I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I just walked in the halls. And I was like, it was small. And I was like, you know, I can see why people stay together for their kids. And after they all have grown and gone, separate. If you don't keep it going or whatever it is that you got going in your relationship,
Yeah.
I can see why people separate.
Right.
Because at some point in time, you've been with this person for X amount of years and you haven't fully done you. So I feel like sometimes people be looking to what, in case they're in a relationship with somebody else, and that's the case. But I feel like people be like, what's next for me? Is it to be in this relationship or is it to figure out what I need to do in this other half of my life? Because I done dedicated my life to my family, my husband and my kids. What about me?
Right.
So I can see why people divorce or separate or no longer want to be together or however it is that they do it.
Yeah. So Tana, when you weren't, you know, thinking about kids, did you have that same, you know, mindset that most people have? That most people have, where it's like, I want to be like financially there first, or, you know, like, or was it just never a thought at all?
Yeah, I had the same thought. I want to be financially stable, so when the child comes into this world, I'll be fine. But at the same time, I was gonna say I was a realist. I mean, realistically, things happen, so it's just like, and then you got to think about it. Would you ever be financially ready?
Right, that's
You
what
know
I be
I'm saying? Like,
trying to tell people. Like, I'm like, you're never going to be truly ready for a child, no matter
Yeah.
how much you try to plan.
And money don't make you there.
Right.
You have to be mentally prepared because
yeah,
I don't even know how old those other kids was before I had Anthony. I ain't trying to calculate no time, right? But that was starting all over again for me. They were in middle school. I guess I was in elementary, but either way, they wasn't, because middle school. I don't even know why that 5th grade was connected with 6th grade, but to me that's okay. It was middle school, and one was almost going to high school or whatever. That was starting over. I wasn't even mentally prepared for that, and I had already had to. Difference also is with stuff like that is that with the first two, I had help. Like when I had to work, need a sitter, wanted to go out or whatever it was I wanted to do, like I was close enough to my parents to where, and my sister and brother are close to their age.
Right.
So I had help and I always had a sitter. I didn't always have that with Antonia.
Right.
So we was working opposite shifts, and then Tony was going to school and then working at nights, or I was working at night. So then a lot of that laid up on the kids. We didn't have help. Like I ain't gonna say we. No, we didn't. We didn't, because at one point in time we only had one car.
Right.
yeah,
So you have to think about certain things. It's not always being financially stable. It's, do you have support? Because if you don't have support, then that's where the issues kind of come in at. So a lot of times it led to me not working because we didn't have a sitter.
Right.
right.
But I am glad you had said that for the people. Like with you having 3 kids, it's like everybody has this idea, like oh, like financial money, but I'm like, it's not about that. Like, and like I said, you're never truly gonna be ready, no matter how much you plan it. Be different if like we all like rich, so like
Yeah.
but even if you had all the money in the world, you still have to be there.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have it
fine.
together.
So you have to be mentally, financially, and you have to have support.
Yeah.
Not only that, I mean, not one time when I had my kids, I had money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, may do. They didn't want for anything, and it ain't
Right.
like they was starving. They might not have no Jordans, but they wasn't looking bummy.
Right.
You know what I mean? In case they went outside and played, but that's a different story. So, I mean, it is what it is. Like, you do what works for you.
Right.
And I just feel like people shouldn't put pressure on you, or you shouldn't put pressure on yourself when it comes to having a family.
Exactly.
Or where you're at in life either. Life be life, and then you just have to do whatever works for you. And if you have a goal or ambition to do something, just do it. We only get one. We might not get a second round because we don't know how this life thing goes. Do what works for you. And if it's something else you want to do what you need to do to get to where you want to be. Because, yeah.
So those are your words of encouragement then.
I guess those are my words of encouragement because
Well, you
that
keep all of us then.
because I'm talking to
Right.
myself too, because
Yeah.
there's things I want to do. Like, we got this going, I got other things that I want to do too. But I also have this job that got benefits, and if I can't get no money rolling in, I got to stay where I'm at.
Right.
Fact.
Well, for me, as far as words of encouragement, like, don't put pressure on yourself because people put pressure on themselves when they don't feel like they are where they are in life. And I'm always trying to tell people, I'm like, that's not how life works. Life is going to be life. You can't control it. So like, don't be like, oh well, I feel like that I should be here, but I'm like, that's a feeling, that's not reality. Like, you are here and you are good. Yeah, you can always strive to be better. So don't put a lot of pressure on yourself to try to be where you're at. You can still get there.
You'll get there. Even if you have 50, you'll get
Right.
there.
I guess my words of encouragement is plan. Whatever you want to do, write it down, and start taking those steps to get to that goal. It's easier said than done, but
Yeah.
It's okay if you fall back. Just start back up. We've been restarting. And with that being said, that's Sit and Chat 612.
Sit and chat, 612, the sequel. Success in our soliloquy, no equals. Listen to us as we driving on the highway. Different topics, top 5, Foodie Friday. Share, listen, laugh and give us that energy. Come on, tone with the jokes and me bringing the chemistry, the symmetry. Damn, nah, we ain't with the imagery. Our ministry ain't with the gimmickry. Are you kidding me? Easy.